Welcome, welcome. Go ahead and put me on the screen, please. Put me on the screen, please. What's happening, Dodgers Nation? What's going on? It was a little bit of a rough one tonight, wasn't it? It was very difficult today. Hello, hello. I'm very sad tonight. Did you press the button to also? There we go. Okay, thank you. I'm very sad tonight. Very, very sad tonight. This is my first game. My first game doing post game with you guys, and the Dodgers have lost. They have lost. I'm sad. I'm bitter. 5-2 loss to the Brewers. There's a lot of things that we want to get into, but some positivity out there as well, you know, because you got the Diamondbacks and the Rockies both losing, so the Dodgers are still in first place. Still in first place. Oh, I did not go live there yet. All right, now we're going, and now we're going live on everywhere. We are everywhere now, so I'm very sorry for that. It's a little bit of a sad day for me. We have lost for the first time as a post-game show. This is the very first one. It has to happen sometimes, but it's okay. We can get through this together, and I'm going to be just all right, just like everybody else. So let's, first things first, Manny Machado hits a home run at the end, so that's a great thing for him. First game at Dodger Stadium. But tell me a little bit about yourselves. Tell me where you're from. Where are you calling from? Tell me where you're at. Hello, Amanda Garish. I'm a big fan of yours. Big fan of yours. Hello. We'll be back. You know what? It's been 11 games in a row. It's 17 games. 11. There's 17 games in a row with no stopping. So this is all going to happen. There's going to be losses. I'm going to have to come on every once in a while when there is a loss. It's upsetting to you. It's upsetting to me. It's upsetting to the entire world, and I get it. I'm with you. I'm just checking out all these other little things. I got Twitch going right now. You can go to Dodgers Nation TV for Twitch. I got YouTube going right now. You can get Dodgers Nation. That's on Dodgers Nation on YouTube. You can find me there. I got followers going on here, right here on Instagram. It's a late night. Welcome everybody. And I also have Periscope going. I can't really see what you're saying, unfortunately, but I'm going to try and get this up. See if I can figure out if you guys are talking. There we go. Look at that. I'm going to see what we got. Oh, I don't need to get. Let me just get rid of my voice here. There we go. All right. So we got everything going up. Got Periscope. Got YouTube. Got Facebook. Got Twitch. Got Instagram. All right. Tell me where you're from, like we always do. Where are you coming from? I got Visalia, California. The USMC. Larry Louise. What's happening? What's up from Arizona, Richard Light Owl? I love that you're from Arizona because the Diamondbacks lost also. So that's another great thing. Also, hi Greg. Hi Kevin. How are you, Kevin? Nice to see you again. I'm sure FRG is out there somewhere. Blue Heaven Podcast. Love you guys. Let's see. So let's go right into it. I got enough. I want to see where you guys are coming from. We're going to get into some questions. We're going to get into a whole bunch of other things that I want to talk to you guys about. But first, let's talk about the actual game itself. If you can go ahead and throw up the topics for today, I'm going to get those going up. Let's start off with what really happened in today with Kenta Maeda. This is now the second game in a row where he's given up a couple runs. It's 4 or 5. He gave up 5 runs last time, 4 runs this time. He's going to that breaking pitch just a little bit too much. The changeup that he's really going after hard has not been changed. The changeup does not look good, and he's getting hit on it. It's a little bit of that rough first inning. He got away with it after one, but he gave up the 3-run jack. It was just really tough to really see Maeda not doing well, and that's right after Ross Stripling last night also didn't look all that great, didn't make it as long either. I'll give you some good news though. The Dodgers have not lost 3 in a row since the beginning of June. So tomorrow night, Walker Buehler Day tomorrow. Walker Buehler Day, always a great day for Dodgers fans, and we're going to have enough. That winning streak is going to start all over again. All right, so a little bit rough for Maeda. I could see him and Ross Stripling getting into the bullpen coming up soon. I know people don't want to see Maeda in the bullpen, but I'm telling you, I just foresee it happening later on down the line. Let's go on to next. Swing Belly. All right, so Cody Bellinger. If there's a guy that needs a day off more than anybody on this team, it's Cody Bellinger. The dude is just, here's the problem. You can't be changing your swing on July 30th of this year. I know it wasn't working. You're going back to the old swing that you had when you first came up, and they were talking about it a lot on the broadcast. Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser were talking about it. He's standing up straighter. He is He's going back to that old swing, but if you watch when he's swinging, I mean, he's taking pitches and he's walking, he's doing a lot of good things, but he's swinging at really bad pitches, ones that are inside, and he's still not swinging at the pitches right down the middle. And when he is, he's falling back on that. I'm not lefty, but if you're falling back, he's falling back on that left foot, and he's trying to uppercut, and he's coming through, and you can see him falling back, and he's just completely underneath every one of these pitches. It's not looking good. The guy, especially if you're going to change your swing right now, it's time to go take a seat for at least a day or two. And if that doesn't work, it's time to drop down into AAA for a little bit, because it looks, my mic connection became loose. I think everything's all right. Does my mic sound okay over there? Okay, good. But if he kind of steps back with his swing, like the swing gets fixed up a little bit, then if it's not going to work after a couple days off, he needs to go down to AAA and figure it out there, and let a guy like Alex Verdugo come up and show what he can do, and let him figure out what he's doing, because right now he is a bane. And a lot of people are talking about, oh, well, because he's in center field so much and it's first base so much. I don't care what you play on defense. But when you are at the plate, you are a totally different person. You should be looking at your splits and how you are seeing the ball on the plate itself. All right, this game had a lot to do with missed opportunities. They had bases loaded. They had runners on second and third. They had runners on first and second. There were so many opportunities. Manny Machado, with the base loaded, looked at a ball right down the middle. And as great as Manny's been, it's just upsetting to see that he hasn't, that he missed that pitch. He knew it right when it happened too. It was too bad, but I'm telling you, there was too many missed opportunities, and that's why this loss happened tonight. And what you're going to see is, at least, like I said early on, the Diamondbacks and the Rockies both lost. So that's a huge, huge thing to happen. That helps that so the Dodgers are still in first place. Only a half game up, but the Dodgers are still in first place, and it's going to just it's going to start all over again with Walker Buehler. All right, before I get into your trade scenarios and all this craziness of Bryce Harper and Chris Archer and all these guys, before I get into all of your questions, and I swear I will talk to every single one, as many of you as I can. I actually have Periscope up so I can see everything you're saying to me on Periscope for the first time. This is all a brand new experience for me, but I'm going to tell you right now, I've got to talk about something a little bit important first. Roberto Osuna was the closer for the Blue Jays, and he just got traded to the Astros. I am of the opinion that if you are accused of beating your wife and you are still under investigation and you still have not had a trial, you should not be playing baseball. I don't care. This is a serious, serious offense. You do not touch women, period. And Roberto Osuna being traded to the World Series champion Houston Astros is disgraceful to me. The fact that the Astros would do this. The Dodgers didn't do it with Aroldis Chapman a couple of years ago, and they didn't go to the World Series because of it. And they're not doing it now because with Roberto Osuna, and that's upsetting to me, that the fact that he is on a roster and has a chance at winning a World Series title, because despite the fact that he possibly, I'm not saying he did because I don't know but it's possible that he beat his wife. Get him out of here. He should not be playing baseball until this is figured out. It's upsetting, it's wrong, and when it happened before with somebody else, I don't remember who it was, but Justin Verlander, who was on the Astros, came out and said he shouldn't be playing, and another guy, and Lance McCullers also said that a guy shouldn't be playing. This was a couple of years ago. I wonder what they think about now, having Roberto Osuna on this team. Well, he's up for the same thing. It's bull, and he shouldn't be allowed on the field. Dodgers Nation, if shouldn't be suspended for the season, mash that mad icon. Exactly, mash that mad icon, because he should not be on a field in any sense. All right, let's drop the topics thing down. And now it's been enough time. I know what you want to get to. Tomorrow is the day, 1 o'clock Pacific time, and for all you guys that are all over the country, it's also at 4 o'clock Eastern time. It is trade deadline. So, all right, come at me. What you got? You want to talk about this game? You want to talk about what the Dodgers need? We got it all ready to go. I'm going to start off in Facebook and see what I got over here on Facebook. Is there, like Jerry Martin, is there like a time when Cody Bellinger doesn't strike out or pop up with men in scoring position? Asking for a friend. Yeah, you can ask for me too, because he just does not look good. I was just going through it. That was one of the main topics that I had, is that Cody Bellinger just doesn't look right. If there's anybody that needs a day, 2, 3 off, it's Cody Bellinger. This team is deep enough that you can find guys that play those positions. Chris Taylor can play in the outfield. Kike Hernandez can play in the outfield. Jock Peterson can play in the outfield. Max Muncy can play first. You have plenty of guys to move around, and Max Muncy had a big triple tonight, so hopefully he found his swing again. But there's plenty going on there that I think that Bellinger needs to sit down, take a break, and move on. All right, let's go over to Periscope, since I got Periscope going on here. All right, so reminds me of Chapman when we could have gotten him. Exactly, we could have gotten him. Didn't do it because he possibly beat his wife. We don't need that on this team. We don't need that in baseball. We don't need that in football. If you hit your wife, no sports for you. It's a hard line stance. You have domestic violence, get out. You do not get to play baseball anymore. That is what it needs to be, and we need to stick with that because it's wrong and it's disgraceful. All right. It's baseball, though. They're going to do whatever they can to win. Yeah, but you don't pick up somebody that's gonna beat their wives. Anyway. All right, Noah Syndergaard, Iglesias, Greg Holland. All right, Greg Holland was just designated for assignment from the St. Louis Cardinals. You can probably pick him up for just about anything right now, and something looks off on him. He looked great in Colorado, which is crazy last year, but I don't know what it's going to be like this year. Iglesias, I don't know what his situation is, but I know Noah Syndergaard is not going anywhere, and the dude is hurt way too much. He's under control, and he's got a power arm, but he's hurt way too much. I'm not ready to make a big-time move for Noah Syndergaard. I'm going to move over to YouTube and see what we got going on here. All right, I got Aaron Yee and Keith Walker. Changeup was filthy last outing until he went to it too many times, Aaron, and that's when he gave up the home run to tie the game up, and they gave up 5 runs in that. Hey, poor Greg, what's going on, Keith? Poor Greg doesn't exist on this platform, only at ESPN. You might want to borrow a mic. Is there something wrong with my microphone? If you can't hear me, you're hearing a lot of ambiance. Okay, if we can actually please turn off the air conditioning, I would appreciate it. I'm going to try and get rid of that so you don't hear any of that, but I have so many different things going on that you might hear a little bit more, so I apologize. You don't have any questions over here, so again, I'm going to move over to Twitch. See if anything going on Twitch. Yeah, I've got a bunch of people watching on Twitch. If you have any questions, anything, absolutely ask them. Go ahead, ready to go. And now let's move back over to Facebook. Facebook, what's going on over here? Iglesias might cost, most of these guys are going to cost too much to get. Barry Mientke, do you see us getting any bullpen help? 7:15 in Wisconsin. What's happening in Wisconsin? Bullpen help. I think there's a lot of guys here. All right, so this is one of the things. One of the guys that people really wanted was Keone Kela. And Kela was just traded to Pittsburgh, so he's off the table. Another guy that people really want to see is Kyle Barraclough. And really, if you look at his June splits, Barry, June splits show that Kyle Barraclough was fantastic. He was really good in May. He was really good in June. And now when we got into July, he has blown more saves than he's saved. He's blown 3 saves to 2. He's given up runs in his last 2 outings, and one of those was, I think, about 4 runs. I think it's just a problem. The volume is too low. Let me see if I can move my volume up. I'm going to try and press everything up. My volume all the way up on everything. I'm talking as loud as I possibly can. Let me just move all these things. That volume's up, so it should be good. I'll try and get it better for you guys. Sorry about the volume problems, but I'm doing it. Oh, we can hear you fine. There we go. All right, at least you can hear me fine there. Brian Dozier. Dozier. He's having an off year. He looked great a little while ago. He does not look. Last year he looked okay. He looked pretty good. His price tag has dropped considerably, but do you really need more offense in that sense? He's not. Brian Dozier is not the guy that you want anymore. I'm sorry. Brian Dozier does not look like he used to. He could help, but that's not what you're going for. I think what you really need is if Jacob deGrom, which they're not going to trade, and I would trade a lot for deGrom, but I think if you're going to trade anything, it's going to be for that, or you're going to try and go somebody for the bullpen. Somebody that can go into the 8th inning, like Barraclough. When he was pitching, he was getting a lot of holds early on. When he moved to the closer role, it kind of started to fall apart after that big June. So maybe going back into that 8th inning, 7th inning role is all going to change things up. Volume is good. Thank you, Alfonso Harris. Thank you, I appreciate it. All right, let's move back over to Periscope. What's happening at Periscope? What is the move you're hoping the Dodgers make tomorrow? You know what? This is the crazy thing. And I've been saying this. I've been doing these post games for I think a week or 2 now. And I'm telling you right now, I don't think there's a move out there that is going to exponentially help this team. The bullpen is going to be just fine. The bullpen actually looks fine right now. Scott Alexander looks great. Julio Urias got to pitch tonight. He's probably going to make it over to. He'll make it up into, and he'll be at a reliever as well. I think that the bullpen will be just fine, and guys are going to move from the starting rotation to the bullpen when you get into September. And what's going to happen is you're going to have guys like Maeda and Stripling and even possibly Rich Hill or, Alex Wood possibly even are going to be guys that are going to the bullpen. So I'm not too worried. Let me tell you what's going to happen, though. This is my prediction for tomorrow. When you're at around 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, you're going to see the Dodgers make some crazy move for a guy that you're like, who is that? I've never even heard of him. It's going to be a reliever. It's going to be a back-end reliever, and he is going to be a guy that you probably either have not heard of or have heard of him and go, oh, I didn't even think of him, and they're going to get him for cheap, and he's going to fit the splits that the Dodgers are absolutely looking for. It's going to be somebody that is going to be good against righties or lefties, and he's going to have the splits that the Dodgers are looking for, and it's going to come out of nowhere because that's how this front office works. All right. I know you want me to get into Bryce Harper. I know it. I know you want me to get into Bryce Harper. Here's the thing. Here's my big thing on Bryce Harper. And I know it's a question. All right, good. That sounds good there. Twitch, you're looking good there. Everybody's looking good and happy. I got to move around for you guys. But here's the thing. When you talk about Bryce Harper, you're talking... All right, let me do this first. Before I get into my opinion on Bryce Harper, tell me what you guys think about Bryce Harper. Slam on that heart button if you want Bryce Harper. I want to see all the heart buttons going if you want to get Bryce Harper. I want thumbs down or nose or angry faces or whatever you got that is saying, I don't want Bryce Harper. So yes or no on Bryce Harper. And then the other one, or how about how you comment if you want Chris Archer? Because I don't want Chris Archer. I have no interest in Chris Archer. There's nothing about Chris Archer and his splits that look good. He is not a frontline starter. He is not a 1, 2, or 3. There's nobody. He's not going to make it in the postseason. I want to see a guy that I love the guys that we have. I have no issue. Look at all those faces. Yeah, angry faces, angry faces, angry faces. Nobody wants Bryce Harper. I got happy faces, happy faces, happy faces. So I guess maybe people do. Look at it. People do want Bryce Harper. Didn't know. All right, let's go over to Instagram. Oh, I didn't get into my Bryce Harper thing. All right, so look. Bryce Harper is not a top 5 player in baseball. Manny Machado is a top 5 player in all of baseball. So Manny Machado, what you gave up, I know they're completely different situations, but you're talking about Manny Machado, who's an amazing baseball player, who came over for 5 prospects. One of them is a guy that was actually, Yusniel Diaz had some issues we probably could see, or could probably see him being good in the major leagues. But I don't want Bryce Harper because it's going to cost more than that. I don't want to give up more for a possible rental that's going to be worse than Manny Machado. You don't give up more because the Nationals value him more. That doesn't make sense. Most likely it's not going to happen. So let's just forget about Bryce Harper. They're not going to do it. And if they do, let somebody else pay overpriced for him to strike out over and over again. I know his other numbers look great. His OBP looks good. His slugging percentage looks good. He hit a home run tonight. It just doesn't matter. I just don't see it happening. I don't like it. Steven, so on Periscope, hey, Greg, I think that Bryce is a cancer in the dugout, fights his own teammates. That's another thing. I mean, look, when you come to new situations, you're going to have new guys, and you're not going to be that cancer that you were over there. At least you hope so. You hope that's not what happens. So I would think that maybe if he came over, it would, but I don't see that happening. I don't think that's going to be the problem. I think the problem is that they're going to have to give up too much for him, and I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Walker Buehler go. I would be okay with moving Verdugo for him because Verdugo would be blocked anyway. So there's a lot of things that could go wrong, but I just don't see that happening, and I don't see Chris Archer happening either because Chris Archer, if you look at his splits, he has a +4 ERA. He has a +4 FIP. His K per walk is down. His K per 9 is down. His hits per 9 are up. It's just there's nothing about him that's screaming even number 3 starter. There's too many guys on this roster that I want but more. All right, let's see what we got here on Instagram. Oh, there's so much stuff here that I missed, and I apologize. You guys have been sitting here waiting and waiting. Culberson or Granderson, Rachel, you're crazy. Neither one of them. Culberson looked good, but they're not moving him. And Granderson, no, we've had the Granderson topic here. We tried it last year. No, No thank you, Curtis Granderson. I appreciate that thought, but absolutely not. Unload for Max Scherzer is going to cost us, but screw. Okay, look. There's frontline starters, and then there's Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer is the best player in baseball, pitcher in baseball, period. End of story. Get it over with. If you can get Max Scherzer, you go get Max Scherzer. I would love to go look up his stats and his contract. I don't have it in front of me because I just never thought it'd be real, and I don't think it would be real. So let's move on from that. Let's try on YouTube. What's going on? We ain't getting no Bryce Harper, Mario Negretti. You're right. We ain't getting no Bryce Harper. We don't want Bryce Harper. We're not going to get Bryce Harper, so let's move away. And back over to Facebook. What's happening in Facebook? Thumbs up for Harper, Mo. You're one of the few. You know what? It's interesting because that's actually what I wanted to see. I went on Twitter at Bergman Greg. If you want to talk to me on Twitter at Bergman Greg, I checked out. I put up a poll. And I put up a poll asking, do you want Bryce Harper? Do you not want Bryce Harper? And it was after Mark Feinsand said whether or not he wanted, whether or not he thought that the Nationals are actually willing to move Bryce Harper. So I put up 50. So I put up hell nah and bring the power. I had just about 1,000 votes, which is a good job by you guys getting on there and voting. 53% of you, hell nah. So and 47% of you saying bring the power. So if you see, it is not something that people want. I got a bunch of comments. Let's see what people thought about bringing in Bryce Harper. It is a little bit mixed bag. So I got from Bentley, I got his OBP is over 350. Stop focusing just on batting average. Oh, look, I called him Mr. 200 for fun. But yes, his batting average is really low, but his OBP and OPS is high. So that's more important than, I don't think anything is about batting average. It doesn't matter to me as much as OBP does. But he still bats really low, and it's just not the guy that you're looking for. Doesn't fit into this way. We've had some tired pitchers. This is from San Diego Dodger Tim. We have some tired pitchers. More pitching would be nice. I've convinced myself Archer would be a good addition. San Diego Dodger Tim, I'm sorry, man. It does not work for me. I know we need some pitchers, but I don't believe it, and I said it to you on there as well. I'm coming along with more pitchers too, but I don't think Archer is the guy. Nothing really out there. Unfortunately, that's too front line for me, and I still believe that. Bring the power, Vic Romero. You're one of the few. I got Troy Schoenbaum. He's not going to come cheap. I'm not big on depleting the farm for rentals, especially rentals hitting 220. Yep, see, Troy Schoenbaum knows what he's talking about. For the right price, not what the prospects are willing to part with. Okay, so that's where it talks about. John M. Herrera, so what you put out there is that it depends on the price. Yes, if the price is right, I'm all in on Harper, but it's got to be less than what you gave up for Machado, and that's just not going to happen. So let's see what we got. All right, let's go back to Instagram. Like I said, trade everything for DeGrom. I would trade a lot for DeGrom. I think DeGrom is your number one starter if he comes over. I think as much as it's Clayton Kershaw, I think it's still Jacob DeGrom. All right, so here's another interesting one. Grendel67, I kind of agree with you. Matt Harvey, a lot of guys are down on Matt Harvey because of what they saw in New York. But since he went to Cincinnati, they got him for nothing, and they're going to get something back for him. I think Matt Harvey's actually a good reclamation project. He's a guy that could come in and possibly be your number 3 starter right away. I think Matt Harvey could be a guy that if his mind is right and he's not out at the clubs partying with all the girls and he wants to go hang out, then yeah, Matt Harvey would be great. I mean, I actually would be okay with Matt Harvey. Let's go over to C. Will on Facebook. Give Buehler, Verdugo, and Alvarez for Max. That I would do. There's not a few guys that I would give. Walker Buehler to me is a do not touch guy. For Max Scherzer, I mean, the problem is he's 32, and I don't know how much longer he's going to last, but he's just lasting, and he's pitching amazing. Buehler is what you want, Max Scherzer is what you want Buehler to be. That one's a tough one. I would be sad, but I would be okay with that in the end. That's a lot for Max Scherzer, but look, that's just grasping at clouds or whatever the saying is. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Let's go back over to Periscope and see what we got going on Periscope. Welcome for joining. I got heard Cleveland was leading for Harper, but Nats are asking for their prospect Bieber. Yeah, I mean, you're going to hear a bunch of guys are all going to be leading. It's going to change randomly, but let me get some water real fast because I'm very, very thirsty. Sorry, didn't mean to get rid of the LA in front of you. All right. Have you ever been in an atheist communist bunker? I haven't. You want to tell me all about it? Go. Tell me all about it. Tell all the fans about it, too. They want to know what goes on in an atheist communist bunker as well. Hey, Greg, what do you think holds for the future of Ryu? I think he's going to be just fine. He just pitched a bullpen session on Saturday. He's going to be coming back, and he's going to be, I think he has 4 starts in AAA where he's going to get ready to come back, and then he's going to come back. And hopefully he comes back like the guy he was in April, because he was the best pitcher on the staff. So I think Ryu, when he's actually healthy and playing, is going to be really, really good. And I would love to see Ryu come back and be the guy that he was. That'd be really nice to see. Anything here on YouTube? Yes. All right. I accidentally voted for Bring the Power. I tried to change it, so change that, Aaron. Make sure you go on there and change that, because you obviously don't. We need pitching for sure, Mario Negretti, but after seeing that possible no-hitter nonsense, I'm thinking the bats might disappear like they tend to do, especially at the crucial moments in October. All right, look, you really can't go on that. They just held that that was a Sunday. That was right after they held down the entire Atlanta team for 3 straight games. And really, I mean, Sean Newcomb came out and he pitched fire. What are you going to do? Like, that was it. He pitched absolutely great, and there was no-hitter. You can't go off of that, just off of one game. That's too prisoner of the moment. Sorry, Mario. So we might need another bat, because look, JT needs to come back. That's a big part of this whole thing, is that JT needs to come back, and when he does, it will all change. And I think this is something that most people aren't really talking about, is that Justin Turner is not in this lineup. And when you see the difference that Justin Turner brings to this lineup, when he's on the DL, they were 10 games under 500, like they were at the beginning of the year. He comes off the DL, and all of a sudden everything gets better. People start hitting better. They start waiting on more pitches. Max Muncy is looking at pitches better. They're seeing the strike zone better. They're going off of Justin Turner. Justin Turner needs to come back and be the guy that he was. I'm not sure exactly when he's coming back, but he should be coming back soon, and I think that will really, really help out in that situation. All right. Forsythe makes me sad. Yes, he makes me. For Forsythe makes me very, very sad, because it's time for him to go. And I bet you we could see if designated for assignment sooner rather than later if you don't move him by this trade deadline. I don't know that for sure. I don't have any inside knowledge. I don't know anything about that, but I'm telling you, I could see him moving off, because they really just want to see if they can move him along with another piece to make salaries work, and he's expiring, so he's just gone at the end of the year anyway. I know it doesn't work like the NBA in these expiring contracts, but it is different. Remember, before we go any further, it's about halfway through, and I know some of you guys are just coming in here. Follow me on Twitter at Bergman Greg. That's at Bergman Greg. Follow Dodgers Nation. Follow Dodgers Nation's everywhere. They're great on everything that they do. You can follow them on Twitter at Dodgers Nation, on Instagram at official Dodgers Nation, on Twitch at Dodgers Nation TV, on YouTube at Dodgers Nation. I got people watching on there. I got people watching on Dodgers Nation TV on Twitch. Love seeing you guys. Welcome. And then also, I got me, at Bergman Greg, and you can follow me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that I possibly can. I got one from Clint here, Clint Pacius. Infield of Muncy, Taylor, Turner, Machado can be really good. Belly down to AAA for August. You know what, Clint? I agree with you. I think it's time for him to go. I mean, I think you let him, at this point, you let him sit down for a couple of games and just see what you can see if Turner Ward can work with him just a little bit more. He just changed his swing just for this game. He just came back with his brand new swing, and they love talking about it. Oh, it's a brand new swing for Cody Bellinger. But you know what? He's still falling off onto that back left foot. He's still getting underneath pitches, and he's still letting pitches go by that he shouldn't be letting go, that are right down Broadway, ready to just be smashed, and he's missing them, and he's swinging at pitches that are inside and high. I don't get it. He needs to stop. And yes, Matt G. Barnes, if he can't figure it out in the next couple days, yes, I do think that Belly should be sent down. Not yet, but he should be sent down. All right. Logan Forsythe should be traded. At this point, it seems like the whole stadium just sighs and waits for his at-bat to be over. That's pretty much what's happening right now. And if they can't move him by tomorrow at 1 p.m., my gut feeling is that he's going to go. He's going to be designated for assignment, and they're just going to let him go, and they'll bring somebody else up. They'll bring up Verdugo. They'll bring up Tolles. They'll bring up somebody else that's going to take over that position, because you really don't need him. Chase Utley started tonight. He actually started yesterday on Sunday too, I believe. But Chase Utley's going to get the other starts, and really it's going to be either Chris Taylor or Max Muncy at second, and that's most likely what you're going to see. Logan Forsythe is done. He's just done, especially in my opinion. Let's check it out on Periscope. DeGrom situation seems like the Chris Sale one. You got to get rid of prospects in order to win. I will move prospects for Jacob DeGrom, and if you don't, you're crazy. I know it's your guys, and these are all our guys, and these are things that we really like to see. But I'm telling you, if you can get Jacob DeGrom, you do it. He's not doing anything in New York, and he is still under control for 2 more years. He's 30 years old. You still have him. This is kind of like his prime right here. Yes, you go get Jacob DeGrom. Good thing the Dodgers play in the mild West. See, okay, maybe at the beginning of the year or in the middle of the year, that's what it is. But right now, you have 3 teams vying for first place. They're all half a game or 1 game back of the lead in the NL West. And the Dodgers are only 3 or 4 or 5 games back in the loss column of the Cubs, who are the first place team in all of the NL. So this is not the mild West. The Diamondbacks are in the wild card as we speak, and the Rockies are right behind them, half game back of them. So you can't call them the mild West because 3 teams are still vying for the playoffs, and 3 teams can still get into the playoffs from that mild West. So I'm sorry, Sudda and Sam. It's just not the truth. It's kind of in your head there. Let's move over here. AAA helped Puig. Not only did AAA help Puig, it helped Jock Peterson. It helped, and yes, it helped Puig, and I think, and I believe it could help Cody Bellinger if he just can't figure it out. Let's move on back over to here. Let's see. Oh wow, I got really funny. Should the Dodgers go for Harper? No, Dan. They should not go for Harper. They're not. It's going to cost too much. It's not going to happen. I'm just going off of the first things I see here. All right, Dodgers are a power hitting team. It's do or die with power. Team not built for small ball. That's kind of what they are. But when you have guys like Chris Taylor and Max Muncy, even though he has 24 home runs, a lot of these guys. And first of all, your 2 leadoff guys, Jock Peterson and Chris Taylor, are not power guys. They have around 12 to 14 home runs, so they do have that power. But Jock Peterson has changed his swing to be a much more level swing, and he is hitting singles, doubles. He is trying to be a different type of. He's not swinging for the fences anymore. He's getting on base and allowing guys like Manny Machado to try and bring him in. And then you have the best player with runners in scoring position in baseball, or he was as of a couple days ago, Matt Kemp. So there's plenty of guys that you have behind him that just got to get on base, and we have a lot of on-base guys. So this thought that they're just home run or bust is just not the truth either. I think it's not small ball where they're bunting over all the time, but it is not just a home run or bust type thing. How important do you think it is for the Dodgers to not only win the division, but also to try to get first in the NL, because it would be really hard to beat the Cubs at home? This is from Thomas on Periscope. I think it's very important. I think they have to at least win the division. It might not be winning the all of NL, the first in the NL, but I think it's important to get that first NL to have home field advantage, because that is much easier down the line when you have Game 7 at home in the National League Championship Series. That's a big deal. But I think you have to win the division. And I'm telling you right now, you can see it right now. They will win the division by 6.5 to 10 games. I'm not worried about it. This is going to happen. All right, let's go back over to Facebook, since we haven't done Facebook in just a little bit. Julio Solano, will Manny's 9th inning home run create a spark for him going forward? That's what you hope. I mean, that's a home run at home to dead center. That was to dead center. That's the toughest place in the park to hit a home run, and that will be over. That's his second as a Dodger now. 1 on the road, 1 at home. I'm hoping that's something that's going to happen. All right. Just before we get moving on, I want to get to one thing first before we go any further, before I keep answering your questions. I'm loving answering all your questions, but I want to talk about one thing first. For all you guys that are watching this, I am going to be, along with all of Dodger Nations. I'm talking Real FRG, I'm talking Gary, I'm talking Kevin from Blue Heaven, I'm talking another Clint, AJ. I know there's a bunch of guys from Dodgers Nation that are all coming to the ballpark on Wednesday for Rich Hill. We're going to be sitting in the right field pavilion and in row A. Come find us at the pavilion. Come say hello. Drink a beer with us. Have a $1 hot dog with us. Dodger dog. You got to get a Dodger dog with us. So come find us. Come hang out with us and see what we're doing over at the Dodger game. You can actually kind of watch the game with us too. We're actually all really nice people. We don't get mad. I think Brooks Smith is going to be there too. He's a good guy. He's been on the Breaking Blue podcast with me as well. So come see us at the Dodger game on Wednesday with Rich Hill. and it's going to be a great time, so come check us out. Also, before we go any a little bit further as well, can we please just slam on this like button and on this heart button and let me know that, hey, this is such a different experience for me. This is such a different experience for post-game in general. This is the start of something new, something big. This is where I can look at you and I can talk to you and I can tell you about the game and we can actually talk about the game one-on-one. I can see you, you can see, I can't see you, but I can talk to you, you can put up your comments and I can directly answer you. Most people have to call in and wait on hold for an hour and hope that they possibly get on the air and talk to somebody. Not here. If you put this up, if you put it up here on Facebook, if you put it on Periscope, if you put it on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitch, I'm going to see it, and I'm going to answer your question. Just keep putting it up there. I'll eventually see it. I'm going to answer it. No, you don't get that anywhere else. This is a brand new thing, and let's make this big. Tell your friends about it. I know everybody's got Dodger fans. They don't even have to be in LA. They can be in Dodger fans in Oklahoma, and they can be in Chicago, and they can be in North Carolina, and South Carolina. Yeah! You remember that old thing? That was a great joke once in a while from, what was his name? From Water, pretty much. All right. Anyway, all right. That was enough for me. That was enough of my babbling. Let's get on to these questions and come right back to. Let's start off with Instagram. F. Granky, he shouldn't have left. He wanted more FaceTime. It wasn't FaceTime. He wanted more money. And he said, I wanted that 6th year, and I want more money. And that's what happened, and that's what he did. Can I answer your question? Sure, Jay Reyes. I'll come... let me see if I can find your question here, because I'm going to go back just for you, because you're saying, can you answer my question? Yes, I can answer your question. Would you move Seager Machado to second baseman if Machado resigns? All right, look, man, I mean, if you're going to have me go back and look for a question that's happening right now. Manny Machado is a slim to none chance of him resigning. If he does resign, yes, I'm all for that. But most likely, it's not going to happen, so let's wait for that. Let's get through this year first, and let's try and get guys that are actually on this team and put them in the right position for right now. All right, back to Periscope. I answered a question from you, so I want to go to somebody else. Thomas, let me go to V Lone. Would you bat Manny Machado 3rd or 4th? I feel like he'd be great in that spot. Dodgers leave a lot of runners in scoring position. Here's what you have to understand about the Dodgers and their lineups. I don't think it's all Dave Roberts. I think it's all the front office. It's Farhan Zaidi. It's Andrew Friedman. And what they're doing is they're basically calling out and saying, this is how I want it. What I want you to understand about having Manny Machado in that second spot, while I would love to see him in the 3rd and the 3 spot, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to see, is him in that 3 spot as soon as they traded for him. However, you put him in that 2 spot, you get more at-bats for him. He has a very, very high on-base percentage. Look, he walked twice tonight and had a hit. He's been on base for 30 straight games. So if you put him on that if you put him in the number 2 hole, you get more at-bats for him, and hopefully you already have guys on base. But yes, I'm with you. I would like to see him in that 3 spot because I think he'd be better there. But the Dodgers do what the Dodgers do. And I think once Turner is back and he's actually healthy and playing like he was last year, then I think you see Turner in that 2 spot and Machado in the 3 with Matt Kemp behind him, depending on the pitcher. All right, let's move over to YouTube because I know there's guys on YouTube. Love this channel. Thank you, Mario. I love that you're loving the channel. So tell all your friends, man. Let everybody know. You'd made the point I thought you'd make. It's just one game, but a high-caliber team doesn't get worked like that after being dominant. I'm not convinced. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Sorry, Mario. I mean, look, it is. That is the way to look at it. It was just one game. I mean, guys get... I think the Red Sox were no-hit at one point this year, or were close to it. It happens. It happens to every team at some point. You have that off day. I don't think that it has anything to do with the dominant team because they were dominant against Atlanta over the weekend, so you can't say anything other than that. Let's see. Do we have any questions here? No. All right. Let's go back to here. I'm just going to leave it up here for right now. Ernesto Parada. Is there any way the Dodgers could pursue Blake Snell? 323 in LA. What's up with 323? Let me tell you. No. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. He was been one of the best pitchers in baseball, especially when he was with he's an all-star. Most likely, the Tampa Bay Rays are going to try and build their pitching staff around Blake Snell. So no, I don't see that happening. And so that's, I mean, you probably give up a lot for him, but I don't think they're selling that much. I think that Chris Archer, if anybody's going to go, it's going to be that guy. All right, Dodgers Nation. Hey, he's got the exact look at Dodgers Nation right now. If you go find it on Facebook, has it up, and I think he's got it up on Twitter and all that other things too. We will be at Dodger Stadium on Wednesday, August 1st, Left Field Pavilion, Section 313, Row A. Come say hello to the heart of Dodgers Nation. Yes, come to all. These are the big names of Dodgers Nation. We are the ones that are always on, that you see and you talk to on a regular basis. Come say hello to us. We are real good people that will actually talk to you. And Snell's on the deal, so he's not moving. Sorry, I didn't realize that. Thank you, Clint, or FRG, because you're the best. I love you, bud. All right, let's move over here. Damn, Forsythe was so clutch in the playoffs. It's sad to see him go. Yeah, he was, but he's not now. And he was clutch in the playoffs, but he hasn't been for 2 years. So I'm a little upset with him, too. Who are worried about facing in the playoffs? That is from Renee Fernandez. Worried in the playoffs, I'm not worried about anybody in the National League except for the Cubs. The Cubs are a dangerous, dangerous team. They have the same lineup pretty much that they've always had, and they're going to be good. Hello. And they also have pretty much the same pitching staff, and the pitching staff is a little bit shaky, but they still have the good pitchers there. I mean, you don't have Jake Arrieta anymore. Yu Darvish is garbage. But they did just pick up Cole Hamels, and I think Cole Hamels is a great, great pickup for them. I think they're going to be scary, scary good, and we're going to see them in the NLCS. And when we do, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough 7-game series. But I do think the Dodgers come out of that, and then when they're anybody in the AL, the Yankees, which I think the Yankees are going to start falling off. The Yankees, the Red Sox, the Indians, and the Astros. All those teams are going to be tough. All right, go back to Periscope because I got a couple of you on here. Who are all the non-touchables for anybody in your eyes? Who are all the for the Dodgers? The non-touchables are guys like Walker Buehler. I think you can move Alex Verdugo because we have some people. I think guys like lower on Gavin Lux, who I think just got moved up, or no, Dustin May just got moved up to Double-A, I believe. So he's also moved up. I think Dustin May, Gavin Lux, Walker Buehler are all untouchable, and most of the guys that are on the actual major league roster are all untouchable because they're mostly all young, and they're gonna make this team good for years and not just for 1 year. So that's why when people say trade everybody for Bryce Harper, trade everybody for Jacob deGrom, trade everybody for Max Scherzer, this is a sustained team. We are trying to be in the World Series every year, not just one. So let's hold back on that just a little bit. And there's a lot of untouchable guys, and I think because you didn't want to trade Corey Seager, and look what happened. You didn't want to trade Cody Bellinger. He's not doing too well right now, but look what happened. You didn't want to trade Walker Buehler. Look how good he is. There's a lot of things going on that you don't want to move these guys because they're going to be stars for the future. And there's a lot of catchers, too. Like, I think Keibert Ruiz and Will Smith are really fighting it out for who's going to be the next catcher of the future. And next year, a catcher is going to be needed, especially if Grandal walks, which he can. So, Dodgers have one of the best farm systems. They do. You're right, Renee. They absolutely do. All right, let's move back over here. Do you feel that the Brewers are a definitive playoff team? No, I don't. I think they're making a ton of really good moves, though. I think that team has a lot going for them. They have a good bullpen. They have a good starting lineup. They have a good pitching rotation. But I don't think they're going to be a lock because you still have the Cubs that are probably going to win that division. And then I think it's still possible for 2 teams to come out of the West. So it's not a lock, but I think they're good enough. They're going to be right there. And I just don't trust the Brewers in the playoffs anyway. I know they're going hard after guys. They just got Moustakas, who looked really good at third base. And they just got Joakim Soria. He looked really good tonight. He looked okay tonight. But they got a lot of good names. I just don't think that they're going to be there. Let's go over here to Facebook. Which players around the league that... I don't know what the rest of that is. There's something more to that. I'm not sure. Keep our kids. You're right. Yeah, keep most of the kids. Yes, I agree with that. Let's see. What about backup position at catcher? Barnes is struggling. Yes, he is struggling. And if you can get a backup catcher, it has to be for the right price. I mean, there's guys that you could possibly bring in. Yasmani Grandal has been the best player in July. He has been the best baseball player in July. So it is all about backup catcher. You're talking about backup catcher. So hopefully, Austin Barnes doesn't see too much time. Who knows? Maybe Keibert Ruiz or Will Smith all of a sudden start blasting the ball, and they come up in September, and they're looking really good. Austin Barnes maybe picks it up. You still have Kyle Farmer who can play catcher. He had some big hits. He comes in and he gets big hits in the 8th and 9th inning all the time. So yeah, Kyle Farmer. I think you're going to be just fine. You'll be just fine. Edgar, more time in the AAA? Yeah, that's probably going to be more time in the AAA. I'm sure he was too young. He wasn't ready to start at the World Series. I'm not sure who you're mentioning about, but yeah, there's plenty of guys that are ready to. Rene Grandal, best catcher in MLB. Right now, he is. You can't say anything about it. Most guys are falling apart in July. He's getting better in July, so hopefully that sticks up and that keeps going. Let's go back over to Periscope. Sorry for the itch. Who are the... No, we just did that. Who do you think the front office should bring tomorrow, especially reliever-wise? Also, I believe Walker is probably our number 2, and Rich Hill, when healthy, is deadly. Rich Hill has been deadly since he's come back. He got the laser on his finger, and since then you haven't heard anything about blisters. Hopefully that's the thing of the future, and that's not going to happen. And the blisters are gone. It's a thing of the past. You never see it anymore. That's what we're hoping for, but we'll see. Rachel Granado, Greg, any thoughts on the Dodgers making the? I think they're going to make the World Series again. I'm totally in on the Dodgers making the World Series this year. I think that, but you're getting too far ahead of yourself. Let's get to it. Everything that happens in September is a crapshoot, or October is a crapshoot. So let's hold off on that. Real FRG, what's up, buddy? I already gave you a kiss over there, but I'll give you one here too. Mwah. Love you, buddy. Thoughts on Julio Urias? Touched 94 yeah, look. Julio Urias, I think, is going to be a stud. He's going to be a star here next year. And what they're doing right now is they're making Julio Urias into a guy that is going to be a reliever for this team down the line. And when you have Julio Urias come in, and he was great out of the pen last year, or before he got hurt. And so when you bring him back into this fold, the bullpen just gets that much stronger. So that's why when I say, like, when people are talking about tomorrow is this great big day for the trade deadline, and they're saying, oh, we need back end bullpen. There is back end bullpen help coming. You still have Julio Urias coming. He's going to be just fine. You have starters that are going to move into the bullpen. They're going to be just fine. You still have Scott Alexander, who has pitched lights out. Dylan Floro has looked amazing. He came in multiple times in 8th inning roles and looked great. So, like, what people don't understand is that the Dodgers have one of the best bullpens in all of baseball. This is not just in the National League. I mean, I think it's number 3 in the National League, but there are a very, very good bullpen, and some teams have, like, Pedro Baez, we don't need to get into him, but he's not a guy that's going to make it. So I'm telling you, like, there's enough pitching on this team that you don't need to go out and spend so much on a reliever that is just hopefully helps, but I don't think you need to make that move. There's enough bullpen help coming. So I'm not big on making any more moves. I think Manny Machado was the move that the Dodgers made and needed to make, and that's it. So I'm hoping that's where we stick at. All right. Hill needs to be a relief pitcher, may help with blister. He's willing to move. He's willing to do whatever he wants. He's 36, 37 years old. He's ready to go to the bullpen if need be. So remember, he will go there if need be. So it's absolutely a possibility. There's plenty of guys that can go. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Dodgers Nation, for putting it up on YouTube, telling us where we're going to be on Wednesday. Let's check it over there. Okay, we're going to go back over here. Let's go back over here. All right. Let's go back to Periscope, because that's where this is where most of the action is happening. It's on Instagram, it's on Facebook, it's on Periscope. All right, let's try out Facebook for a little bit here. Get to October 1st. Yes. All right. Arturo Parra Jr. What are your thoughts on Ryu, Fields, Cingrani, Urias coming back soon, and how it affects us getting another reliever? There's more. I totally missed on Tony Cingrani and Josh Fields. Josh Fields was fantastic out of the pen before he got hurt. Tony Cingrani was one of the best pitchers in our bullpen before he got hurt. So now you're adding Josh Fields, you're adding Cingrani, you're adding Urias, you already have Dylan Floro, you already have Scott Alexander, you already have Maeda, Stripling, Wood, and Hill that all could possibly go into the bullpen. You don't need more bullpen. You can only hold so many pitchers. So, and I'm not even mentioning Baez because he's not going to be that. He's not going to be there. I'm not talking about Daniel Hudson. He's not going to be there unless he's pitching lights out, which he did for a little bit. And there's so many other things that could possibly happen. You don't need all these guys, especially when you have to give up so much for it and they're just going to walk away. Not in on it. All right, let's see. The issue with Baez wouldn't have been as bad tonight if the offense was awake and caught up to the Brewers in the game. Yeah, the offense wasn't awake, and they missed so many opportunities where they had bases loaded. They had runners on first and second. They had runners on second and third. There was a lot of things that were going on that they could have gotten runs across. They just couldn't get the ball and play when they needed it. And you have a guy like Matt Kemp, who is now 0 for 17, 0 for 18 over his last, since he hasn't gotten a hit since Monday of last week. The thing with that is he only has 2 strikeouts. I don't remember if he had any strikeouts tonight. He might have. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he only had 2 strikeouts coming into this game. So the ball's being put in play. They are going to drop. Matt Kemp will be just fine. So these nights are not going to happen as much. All right, let's go back over to Periscope. What do you think? What do you think? Give up Puig, Verdugo, and Corey for Harper. I know we're getting a whole bunch of Harper, and if you go on my Twitter, @BergmanGreg, you can see I put up a poll asking if you wanted Harper, did not want Harper. We had over 1,000 votes, I believe, and it had at mostly 53% of you said no to Harper. And just like we did before, smash on that angry button if you don't want Harper, and smash on that heart or thumbs up button if you want Harper. Most likely, we're going to get a lot of angry buttons, especially over here on Facebook. There was a ton of angry buttons over there before. So no, I don't think that you get, I don't think that's going to happen. Corey Seager for a rental, Puig and Verdugo too. Bryce will not happen anyway. No, Bryce isn't happening. Baez will take us to the promised land, Greg. Raider Nation, you're crazy. I love talking to you on Twitter, but I'm telling you, Baez is a joke, and he's not going to get him out of here. Another guy saying take us to the promised land. Who are you people? And why do you keep talking about Baez and promised land? It's just not true in any sense whatsoever. So let's just forget about Pedro Baez because he's not making this postseason roster. There's too many better pitchers than him. All right. C. Will, do you think our starters can shut down powerhouses like Houston and Boston? You know what? When you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. And yes, I do. I think this starting lineup, the starting pitchers can shut down any team in all of baseball. They are good, strong pitchers that have hit their spots. It's not they mix in their pitches. You don't just see a 1-2 pitch guy. You're seeing 4-pitch, 3 and 4 pitch guys. So I mean, even like Maeda, they're talking about it on the broadcast today that if you have Maeda, he's one of the best 2-strike pitchers in all of baseball, because you don't know what's coming. You don't know if you're going to get that change or if you can get the heat. Maybe you're going to get a splitter. You just don't know what you're going to see. I think that there's a lot of guys on this team that are going to be just fine. And as much as people are down on Kershaw, I think Kershaw, when it gets to that time, as he's getting stronger, he's been on the DL, but now that he's getting stronger, he's going to be better. All right, I got about 8 minutes left, so let's get as much as in. I'm going to try and rapid fire this as much as possible. Remember, @BergmanGreg on Twitter. I answer everybody. I talk to everybody. Doesn't matter. All right, Jennifer Kissel. Hey, Greg, what up from Bordeaux? What's up, man? What's going on? San Bernardino, what's happening? You got a question for me, Jennifer? Hit me up. I'm happy to answer anything you got there. Back to not the NBA player. I don't know who you are. There's a lot of NBA players. So if you're not the NBA player, you're somebody, and that's important. What do you think is the starting rotation for the playoffs? I don't know. It really depends on who is going to be pitching the best in September. Kershaw, most likely. I think Walker Buehler, if he's pitching well, he'll be one of those guys too. And I think Rue, if he's doing well at that point, I think he could possibly be, because those are the 3 guys that cannot be in the bullpen. Everybody else can. Warriors can be in the bullpen. Wood can be in the bullpen. Maeda, Stripling, and Hill can all pitch out of the bullpen. So you're probably going to see some of those guys moving in and out of there. Rue probably won't make it in there, but most likely Buehler and Kershaw are going to be your 1-2, would be my guess at this moment. Follow me, active loves you. Well, yeah. Follow me. Yeah, follow me. Yeah, please do follow me. I'm saying it because I got to get it somewhere. So yes, please follow me. Altuve we're not going to see Altuve because he's injured and he's not going to be here for those 3-game set against Houston coming up at the end of the next week. Manny Hernandez, bad loss, especially when Manny strikes out twice to a rookie. It doesn't matter if you're rookie or not. I mean, Walker Buehler's a rookie. He strikes out guys left and right. It has nothing to do with anything, where you are. Manny had some bad strikeouts. There was one that was bases loaded right down the middle. Should have missed that pitch. That was a tough one for him to miss. Steven Meyerson, didn't see the game. What did I miss, and why did it end so late? All right, so what you missed was that the lights went out at Dodger Stadium, and because of that, the game ended way later. It was about a 23 to 25 minute delay, which made this start so much later than I would have liked to. I need to get to bed at some point, just like you all got to get to bed. All right, let's go back down to Instagram. Esteneri, the offense needs to wake up. Yasmani is the only one that is truly alert. Manny is right there with Yasmani, but as of right now, Yasmani is the only one who's awake. Agreed. A lot of those guys are, but, Alex Bregman is a beast. I'm not going to deny that in any sense. But hold on. Oop. So there's a lot. The offense does need to wake up, and I think that all starts with Cody Bellinger taking a seat. Max Muncy hopefully figuring it out. I think Chris Taylor needs more at-bats at the top of the lineup. And I mean, Jock Peterson's looked really good up there too. So you have a lot of things, and I think Justin Turner needs to come back. And when he does, I think you'll start seeing more patience at the plate. Doesn't have the confidence, nor does Peterson. Peterson absolutely has the confidence. Cody does not, but Peterson does. Just because he's not hitting the ball out, go look at his on-base percentage. It's pretty high, and he's doing all the right things. He's been killing the ball. I mean, it's not been home runs, but he's been getting on base consistently. I have no issues with Jock Peterson. I think he's been great. All right, playing so many consecutive days, Dodgers offense looks tired. Playing some good teams. They've been playing the best teams in baseball. Look, they're 6-5 so far out of in 11 games. They have now played Milwaukee 4 times. They played Atlanta 4 times. They played Philadelphia 3 times. They still have to play the A's, the Rockies, the Astros. They have a really, really tough schedule coming out of it, and they're above 500 in it. If they can go, it's just lets everybody relax because they're starting to see these teams late after playing every single day. I think they're going to be just fine. We don't want to get too upset about them just too fast. 55 minutes. We only have a couple minutes left here. Jock Peterson actually has the lowest strikeout rate on the team, and I think in the NL, exactly, because Jock Peterson has been playing very, very well. He's waiting for his pitch. He's looking much, much better. Hello, A. Yes, Dodgers are going to the wild card. Agree. I don't think wild card. I think they're going to be the winner of that division. Kevin Holding, do the Dodgers really need to make moves tomorrow? Would you be upset? I don't think I would. No, I wouldn't be upset at all because there's not really much that I would want. I think they're good top to bottom. I've already said this a few times, but I think they're good. I don't think you need to make any moves, Kevin. I would not be upset in the slightest. I think you will see some moves. You might see a bullpen move here or there, but I don't think they're going to be anything big. You're not going to lose any of your big prospects. Just not going to happen. Let's see what we got there. How's CT3 doing in your opinion, Raider Nation? Look, I love CT3. He had a little bit of a rough go today, but he hits the ball hard, and he hits the ball with consistency. And I think that CT3 is a guy, especially when he's leading off, that he gets on base, and he does exactly what his job is. If you look at his on-base percentage, it's in the 330s. I love CT3. I think he plays the game the right way. He has power every once in a while, but CT3 is a guy that we need in this lineup every single day. Just want to say, Thomas going to sleep, but mark my words, Hollins will be good for whoever signs him. You know what? You could be right, but he just got designated for assignment because he was terrible, absolutely god awful for St. Louis, and maybe that is the guy. And then you know what? If he comes to a pitcher's park like Dodger Stadium, hey, maybe it is. Let's see. CT3 is the real deal. That's right. That's what I'm saying. Do you think the Dodgers are going to keep up the good work? I do think the Dodgers are going to keep up the good work. I think they're going to win the division. I got 2 minutes left on Instagram, so that's going to be the end of me at that point too. Do the Dodgers really? I'm going to try and get as many out as possible. Victor Romero plus the Astros. I think I said the Astros. We will be at Dodger Stadium on Wednesday, August 1st, left field pavilion, section 313, row A. Follow me at Bergman Greg. What do you think is Cody's biggest struggle with his hitting right now? He's falling off his back foot, and he's changing his swing up in the middle of the season. You don't change your swing on July 30th. That just doesn't make sense. Nobody does that, and when you do, that's a recipe for disaster. Hopefully it changes it, but if you've been doing one thing for the entire year, and you just all of a sudden switch back to what you did last year, hopefully it works. I doubt it, but I don't see it happening. He needs to figure it out. If not, he's down to AAA. Any team, what's your biggest prediction trade for tomorrow? Oh, God, tomorrow, I think you do see Chris Archer move for the first time. I don't know where he's going to go. I know the Yankees have been big on him. I think he will be the biggest name that moves. I don't think Harper moves. I don't think that DeGrom moves. I think it's going to be I think that Archer gets traded, and let's just go with the Yankees. That's where my guess is. I'm going to say the Yankees get Chris Archer. Are you going to the Dodger game for Jewish night? I don't know. If that is Jewish night, then yes, I'm going on Wednesday. If Wednesday the Jewish night, then I'm there, and it just fits me. CT3 adds a lot of dimensions at the top of the lineup. He sure does. I agree with you. Send Billy down. All right, that's it. I got 30 seconds left for you guys. So let me just say thank you very much for coming to another post game. This is the only place that you get one-on-one interaction like this, where I talk to you directly. I look at your comments. I answer your comments. I shout out your names. I say where you're coming from, and this is the only place that you're going to get this. Follow me at Bergman Greg, at Dodgers Nation. Thank them. Thank you guys. Sorry for the loss tonight. Let's go for number 2, a win. Started up tomorrow with Walker Buehler. Love you guys. Have a great night. See ya.